The two would exchange tips, knowledge, and experience.
Yep, I knew it. They exchanged tips? We call that docking.
We don't know if there's a hate crime or not, but here are some hate crime statistics regardless.
What if you said the same thing? We don't know if this was an Islamic terrorist attack, but here are some terrorist attack statistics regardless.
Nowadays, that would really appeal to Hasan.
If Destiny was my roommate, I'd get him laid all the time.
It's because he'd be fucking him. Who do you think taught him to give that head?
Hasan tweets, "This is the hill I will die on. Russia cannot launch an urban counterinsurgency war in a neighboring country." And then, on February 21st, Putin officially ordered that his troops invade Ukraine.
I can't believe Vladimir Putin got manipulated by Destiny to invade Ukraine just to spite Hasan.
This manifesto would become infamous and would later be dubbed the N-word manifesto.
I believe Destiny probably really liked Hasan because Destiny is cringe and like a girl. I think Hasan was just trying to revolve around Destiny because he was popular and could have helped platform his career, especially since Hasan is not used to having to build anything of himself because he was rich his entire life and his mom and dad gave him everything, and then his uncle Cenk gave him the position on his show or whatever, and then he pretty much had everything handed to him, and so he was just looking for fast track. All right, guys, let's have a little fun here. All right, let's have some fun. This is a timeline of Destiny versus Hasan from somebody named Meteor Mischief. I'm curious. I don't really know all the timeline. I knew they used to be in love. So cute. And now they are still in love. But they won't admit it. But you never know what other leaks might come out. So let's see what we got here.
First people to begin streaming.
Okay, start over.
Stephen Kenneth Bunnell was
it's a girl. Oh. Why do you guys have so many girls?
one of the first people to begin streaming full-time in 2011. He's often cited as being one of the early trailblazers of the profession. By 2016, he had transitioned into
I knew it! I knew he transitioned. He looks like the type.
hosting live political debates and discussions, and became known as a liberal political commentator who was willing to bring smaller content creators on stream. His community has always been...
That is true. A lot of people will try to jump into his stream and really try to, platform their careers off of him. So, which I guess I get it, but a lot of times it seems like some of them take a little bit of an L.
Been particularly active, going so far as to build DGG Chat, one of the first live stream chats to feature custom emotes, combos, and an offline community.
The chat is it's WebSockets. It was built by, I think, StanPet. I think the reason why we built the chat was because a long time ago, everybody was using an IRC backend, and then the front end was just like really shitty flat.
Yep, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, dog.
And it was like laggy and unstable and horrible. So I think we just ended up custom building something.
The code for this chat would be open source for a time, being forked by various political streamers over the years.
Oh yeah, doesn't he give it out? I saw a lot of people that hate him now used to desperately try to they'll attach themselves to him. So interesting.
I open sourced my project because in my mind, I'm lucky enough to be a really big streamer. I'm lucky enough to be able to do this as a living. Why not feed it back into the world? The issue is that the only people that ever ended up using it were actively trying to destroy my fucking career. So it was very, very strange that there are people who, like Vosh, for instance, or you can go on, I think, White Nervosa's site, because
I think that Demon Mama person also, I know a little bit of the lore, I think that she also uses the thing and hates Destiny.
Leaf was the side label project that they made. When you look at all these people that were trying to destroy me, all these socialists...
Oh, see, I got it! That person was there. I would disagree. I'm not going to rewind it. I'm lazy as a fat person whose job it is to make content. But... that's where I was right.
All these Farlow commies, all of these people were using a forked version of my site, and it's like, what? So I was like, fuck this. I'm not, why even? Fuck you guys. No.
This concept of his fan base having a place to congregate that was not tied to any third-party platform would become pivotal in his ability to survive various platform bans, attacks from other communities, and would eventually lead to him becoming one of the most influential liberal commentators and podcasters on the internet.
True, he is. I mean, it's hard not to, here's the thing. It's hard not to like Destiny. It's also hard to like Destiny. He's such a smart guy. Probably the smartest, when it comes to debate, liberal guy that I've ever really seen on the online space. I mean, he's very intelligent. He's just a little immature. You know what I mean? That's my really only issue. That's why I like to keep a comfortable distance. But the dude, you really can't. He's smart, man. He's smart.
By
gotta give respect where respect is due.
24, he would host podcasts, live streams, in-person debates, canvassing events, and would plan on creating his own media company. His willingness to bring on any smaller content creator on stream would put him into contact with streamers Hasan Piker and Vosh during the earliest days of their streaming careers. This has led to a storied history between Destiny's community and the communities of various other streamers. It would also lead to some of the most long-standing, intense, and heated beefs in not just the political commentary world,
as well as fun entertainment for the rest of us. Let's be real. I mean, what else are we here for? We're here to drink up the slop.
but in the streaming profession as a whole. Hasan Piker began his career as a content creator on the Young Turks in 2014, where he was featured in many of their videos.
Yep, he climbed himself right from the bottom. With no help, no nepotism, but just with the help of his uncle Cenk, giving him his entire platform and career, and Destiny promoting it. But outside of that, did it by himself. Thanks for $2 from That's Crazy. Just like a massive shit. Wanted you to know. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
By 2018, he had begun streaming on Twitch.com, quickly becoming one of the top political streamers in a few years.
All right.
Viewers were drawn to his consistent streaming schedule, with him streaming nearly every day for years.
Yeah, and I think it was the looks too. Let's be honest. Like, one of the things that Destiny's lacks is, you know, he's not a bad-looking guy, but Hasan is a handsome guy. Destiny looks kind of gay, right? And so I think a lot of people gravitate towards Hasan a little more just because of that. I think that's probably really the number one thing. He's a tall, handsome guy. He also speaks confidently and stupidly, but, you know.
He rose to fame at a time when there was not a strong leftist presence within the online streaming space.
Destiny was that, no?
And early in his career, he engaged in multiple debates with right-wing influencers like Charlie Kirk and Richard Lewis. He had a positive relationship with Destiny early in his streaming career, but the relationship would sour after some on-stream disagreements.
Didn't have something to do with Hasan calling Pete Buttigieg or something? I don't remember. Or they had like an N-word debate. Something like that.
Hasan would reach out to Destiny in 2018 for some pre-debate prep for a debate that he would have with Charlie Kirk. This would become one of his first on-stream appearances with Destiny. Ooh. At this point, the relationship was cordial and friendly between them, with Hasan complimenting Destiny by stating that he agrees with him on almost everything.
That makes sense. Thanks for the $5 from Football Doesn't Matter. Hey, Papa, love the content. First time watching live. Sorry for off-topic question, but is there a gut lore video, i.e. a channel switching, doing TA? No, I don't think there's a gut lore video. I don't think I'm popular enough for that. There's quite a bit of lore, but no, there isn't. Maybe that's a good thing. Let the past lie in the past. But thanks for the donation, brother.
Now, because like I've seen a lot of your videos, and I feel like I agree with you on almost everything.
Wow,
gotcha.
So I just wanted to hear what your perspective is.
The two would exchange tips, knowledge, and experience.
Yep, I knew it. They exchanged tips. Oh, we call that docking. Incredible.
During this time, Destiny would later then react to Hasan and Charlie Kirk's debate on stream, complimenting Hasan's performance against Charlie.
So good.
The next day, Hasan and Destiny would meet again on stream to discuss the debate for over 3 hours, in which Destiny gave some critique to Hasan.
You did so good, Hasan. You're such a good boy.
About his debate performance. The two bonded over the annoyance of having to deal with debaters like Charlie Kirk and their rhetorical strategies, as well as some tips for garnering a larger audience. The conversation again ends with compliments from Hasan and a raid.
I have to pee so bad. I'm just gonna.
You're so good, Hasan.
Raid Destiny, because you guys all have expressed how much you fucking love Destiny, and a lot of you probably came here from Destiny stream anyway. So that's what I'm gonna go do right now.
Wow.
No, seriously. Like, everyone originally was like, "Oh, Destiny's a suck dem. He sucks." Blah. And like now, after this like 3-hour conversation, everyone's in love with you. They're like, "Oh my god, he's so great. He sounds so awesome."
Later that same year,
wow,
they would progress to being friends and eventually meet up in person for dinner.
And they kissed.
To let you guys know, I am cutting him off because you are a bit right.
I like it code red, I think. I was at the casino, so I'm like...
From that point on, they would continue to meet up both in person and on stream, with their post-debate reactions and political discussions
Were they actually gay together? Like, what the fuck?
being the primary subjects of their streams together. In one meetup, Destiny streams with Hasan at his apartment and plays with his dog, Fish. This dog will come up again later in an event known as K911.
Oh no, I remember the dog one. I remember watching it live. It was so bad. His fucking Hasan starts crying as Destiny, like, I don't remember the exact thing, but Destiny basically did like some online panel where everybody tries to like draw pictures, and he drew his symbol over a dog. It was a fucking rip.
The earliest disagreements between the two are found in debates on the collapse of Venezuela's economy, PewDiePie, and an instance of domestic abuse within the streaming community.
Oh shit.
Despite these early disagreements,
Who was domestically abused?
the two would maintain a lighthearted friendship, continuing to
I guess probably a lot of people in Venezuela if their economy collapsed.
eat out and get drunk with one another. 2018 ended on a high note for their friendship, and the two genuinely thought of each other as friends.
Ew.
Hasan even refused to take a group
Yay.
photo with fans because they didn't want Destiny in it, something that seems impossible today due to the state of their relationship.
Why are you gonna just fucking stiff him like that, dude? That was rude as fuck.
Because they didn't want you to be here. That's why.
Oh, you're like standing up for me.
Solidarity.
It's not gonna hurt my feelings.
All things considered, it seemed
Damn, they actively didn't want him in there? That's fucking mean!
like the friendship between the two was just getting started, and they had a bright future together. But by 2019, things would quickly sour between their relationship.
Damn.
Are you sure you don't want to get a drink, though?
The thing that makes the Destiny
Oh, dude, you're standing up for me? So cringe.
and Hasan feud so confusing is the fact that it has spanned so many years, with different communities playing a game of telephone over what really happened. I will try to unwind it all by going through the various key disagreements that they had in chronological order. We'll start with some smaller disagreements and end with the larger ones that ended up severing their relationship. As we move through this, you'll start to understand that it wasn't any particular egregious disagreement that caused the severing of their relationship, but rather a string of continuous ideological disagreements and differences in how each content creator approaches political commentary. On one of their very first stream
I mean, I'm sure Destiny's immaturity has something to do with it, you know? And I'm also sure Hasan's immaturity has something to do with it, too.
interactions, Destiny asserted that Trump has caused a deep division within the Republican Party,
Yeah, I mean, he's right.
that once Trump is gone, the Republican Party would have trouble pandering to this new extreme we call MAGA.
True, he's right.
While Hasan agreed that Trump was
Well, I don't know if he's right yet. We'll see what happens when Trump's gone.
a controversial figure, he disagreed that Trump was significantly different from the pre-existing Republican Party. He asserted that Trump
I think he was. I just remember, because at this time, I was working at a bus company, guys. Crazy stuff. And I just remember, like, hearing a lot of stuff on NPR News about how, like, a lot of, like, Republicans were bowing out. They were like, this is just not the party we remember they used to be, you know?
advocated for staple Republican positions and regular things that Republicans have always supported.
Well, that's true. He does advocate for those things because he just, like, fucking panders to the party. But he's still just so much more extreme and fucking insane.
And that the division is not that deep. We will see Hasan once again bring this debate up all the way in 2024 and retell this event as having been a debate where he owned Destiny.
Got him.
Look, guys, we all want to act like Trump is totally different than all these other Republicans, but like their positions in the end, their underlying positions are just regular fucking conservative principles.
Well, sure, but that doesn't mean that he's not more divisive and insane.
They are all like the modern GOP positions. He like his rhetoric is just different. His rhetoric is more appealing to that like base of his base of voters, I guess. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I totally disagree, but I understand what you're saying.
Overall, the conversation was still cordial, and it would include compliments from Hasan on Destiny's willingness to debate right-wingers.
You have such a nice cock, Oh, that's not what he said.
I think what you're doing, especially when you're debating these people, like people in the alt-right or people in the alt-right or like white nationalists and all that, I think you're doing like a really important job. That's partially what I've been doing for a while is like
no, it's not.
kind of dissect right
That part I know is a false. Hasan never does that.
wing talking.
Because like the one time he's talked to somebody, he gets rolled and his community makes fun of him and bullies him for it. Like he lost like Christian Walker of all people in this conversation. His own community was like crying out that he did a poor job. There's no way that he does this at all.
Points to like show people like this is no basis in truth whatsoever, and here are the reasons why. And I
Hasan really is just like stolen valor.
guess you're like kind of doing that live by like debating people.
And by the end of 2018, Hasan would officially join DGG chat under the username Hasan Abi. Due to the events of 2018, Destiny is credited within his own community as having launched Hasan's political streaming career, as Hasan was originally a DGG community member.
He made him. He made him.
Himself from the beginning. Early in the year of 2019, Hasan reported on a shooting that killed a 7-year-old girl in Texas.
Damn, that's terrible. What the fuck?
And he made claims that the shooting might have potentially been racially motivated. Later on, the shooting was confirmed to have been gang-related. Destiny then criticized Hasan for his handling of breaking news.
Well, I mean, that's breaking news is a rough customer.
He stated that Hasan was acting irresponsible as a journalist and was contributing to the shaping of narratives before complete information was released.
Probably. I don't really know the context. How hard did he go in on him? And should he have gone in on him too hard? You know what I mean? Like, should it have been more of like a background, like, hey, it was kind of a fuck up? How publicly did he blast Hasan for that? And I'm only saying because, like, you know, if you're friends, maybe that's something you keep, behind the sidelines, give him a little charity. But
he compared Hasan to a right-wing influencer who would assume that a Muslim was responsible for a recent bombing. As with many of these early disagreement topics, these themes will be reoccurring in the years 2023 and 2024 with the Russia-Ukraine war and the Israel-Palestinian conflict.
So what is the argument? You just don't report on anything less than a month old?
Fuck yeah. I think you're gonna make it hyperbolic, but until like, for a couple days, or you can report all the facts, but don't frame a narrative. Listen, if I'm not allowed to drive a car until 7 weeks after having a drink, then you're not allowed to report breaking.
Hold on. I have a
I mean, he's right about it. I'm just wondering the way that it was expressed. You know,
I have a very limited window and a very limited.
Oh, he called him the Arsler? Damn, shouldn't have called him that, dude. You know, people are sensitive, especially Hasan. You probably should know that. Hasan is one of the most sensitive people I've ever seen in my life.
Opportunity to get him.
Hasan's too sensitive. Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's like the thing. You know, Hasan is obviously a sensitive little baby.
Message across in these sorts of videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to do a video on a what do you call it? If I wanted to incorporate information about hate crimes, to just say like, look, like what?
I love the gaming. I love the game sounds in the background. They're so stimulating.
What level of like clarification do you think is necessary in that instance to maintain that this is absolutely not we don't know if this is a hate crime or not, but here are some hate crime statistics regardless. Or is it
What if you said
unacceptable?
the same thing? We don't know if this was an Islamic terrorist attack, but here are some terrorist attack statistics regardless.
The two would also have a discussion with streamers Rem and Vosh.
Nowadays, that would really appeal to Hasan because he loves terrorism. He loves it so much.
Rem asserted that content creators with large audiences have a moral obligation.
I mean, if you kind of think about it, Hasan does love terrorists, right? He's had a bunch of terrorists come onto his Twitch stream. He runs terrorist propaganda. And then by his own community's logic, he used to have an entire podcast with one. So, I mean, regardless of which side you fall on, you know, you're kind of, you know, you have to believe that Hasan is, you know, he's a T-boy. I don't know.
To attain a base level of grounded philosophical knowledge to support their moral framework. Rem then coined the term morally lucky to refer to content creators who do not have a grounded philosophical framework, but merely stumble upon the correct moral positions temporarily without truly understanding why, and without being able to fully defend their positions against attacks.
I mean, this applies especially to leftists. And I mean, you know I'm leftist. I'm quite left. But it's weird talking to leftists who, once you push them a little bit towards the philosophical route, they have zero way of justifying anything that they hold. And you realize ultimately they're literally just getting all this stuff from like either the people that they grew up around.
Rem versus Train, right? I have no idea who this guy is.
Oh, like the people on the right that we accuse the people on the right of doing, right?
Yeah, and it seems to me they got lucky sort of thing. You know what I mean? They are morally lucky.
Both Hasan and Vosh disagreed with this take from Rem, claiming that it was unrealistic to expect this from a content creator due to the fast-paced nature of online political discourse. Although Destiny was
I'm not understanding what's to disagree with. What?
not a
Yeah, and it seems to me they got lucky around.
Oh, like the people on
just getting off justifying anything that they hold, and you.
I'm not understanding what's to disagree with. The guy's just saying that there are some people who have a belief on something and they don't really truly understand why. What's to disagree with this guy on?
To the fast-paced nature of online political discourse.
I'm not. Am I misinterpreting what he's saying? What's to disagree with? That's just 100% true.
Although Destiny was not a main participant in this discussion, after Hasan and Vosh left, he made it clear to Rem that he agreed with his position, but also made it known to Rem that Vosh and Hasan might have felt insulted by the way this requirement was presented to them.
In a way, I do agree with them. I wish everyone could get a foundational understanding of philosophy. I think it would.
That's all I've been saying.
That's cringe, though. Philosophy is cringe for losers.
I think it would. No, you're not. No, you're arguing for a foundational understanding of philosophy. You're not going to be able to reach that point when everyone is genuinely fucking working 80 hours a week, and just to turn around and say something like, like, oh, well,
I feel like Hasan, he works 80 hours a week.
the responsibility, and they should just make time, or they should go to the fucking library card, is dangerous and irresponsible.
I'm so confused about what the contestment here is. I don't understand.
The difference between Destiny
Rem says that the creators need to have the ability to argue on the philosophy behind their beliefs instead of just the surface level stuff. Like what? Like what do they mean by the philosophy behind their beliefs? Like, hey, I think we should have healthcare because people are good and they shouldn't die. Like what's the am I missing something? Like what's the disagreeable part? I don't get it.
and Hasan's approach to political commentary in the online streaming place were beginning to become apparent to both streamers. As a side note, this is also around the time where Hasan called Wikipedia a genuine scholarly source. This will come up again later in 2023 during both streamers' commentary on the Israel-Palestinian conflict.
When did Wikipedia become a scholarly source? I don't know. When you can literally click on the
the actual articles that link back to scholarly sources, or at least like news articles from the time, that's when it usually becomes a scholarly source. But
damn, he's gonna eat those words.
Who knows, dude? Anyway.
Just kidding. He has no shame.
Guys, I don't know if you knew this, but a lot of the stuff on Wikipedia, you actually have to link back to scholarly sources. So,
in May of 2019, the two disagreed again on the topic of abortion. Destiny's position at the time was that personhood begins at conception, but that abortion should be legal due to the variety of circumstances a person who wants to have an abortion might find themselves in.
Really? Destiny used to believe that personhood starts at conception? That's a silly thing to think.
Hasan
I'm glad that he changed his stance on that. It's kind of ridiculous, no?
agreed with him on the legality of abortion, but disagreed.
Especially since the way that I have sex with my wife, she's not a person at that moment, okay? But it's consensual. You butt out of it, Jesus. Interesting.
Agreed with him on the assignment of personhood at conception.
Actually impact you in any fashion.
Sure. So does being attached to a body, is that what makes you a person then, or not a person? Is if you're attached to somebody else's body?
It's not. No, that is a separate distinction from the personhood. Sure, that's a factor, but the real reason why I'm talking about the attachment to the body is because it's. I'm talking about it from the perspective of the host and the suffering that the host is.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to figure out like why, because you're giving me
pregnancy sounds horrible the way that some of these guys describe it, man.
Reasons where you can like abort a pregnancy, but we're still trying to find out like when is it a person, because you don't believe that abortion is killing a person. So
no, don't have personhood. It's just a little being. When does it become a person? I don't fucking know. I don't know exactly when it becomes a being. It's just a being and not a being. Well, it's a being, but it's not a person. I don't know. I never really thought about it. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit about the heartbeat or the consciousness aspect to it. You know, I don't really care about those hyper specifics. I just know that in those very early phases, it's clearly not a person. At what exact point, I don't really fucking know. But
so that's why we're stuck on this trying to define personhood thing.
Yeah.
And now you're saying, well, if we're still attached to the
I don't
body.
believe abortion is killing a person. Yes, and that I don't believe abortion is killing a person. You're asking me what is a person, or like what?
Yeah, and it sounds like now you're saying, well, if you're attached to a body, that like makes you not a person or something.
Viability outside of the womb is one of the factors of personhood. Sure.
Okay, viability outside of the womb without medical assistance is what you said, right? I think.
Yeah, viability outside of the womb without medical assistance.
Okay, but then we were trying to drill in on that. Like, so if you're a 1-year-old, or not a 1-year-old, I'm sorry, if you're like a 1-month-old that's still like on some kind of type of medical machine because you're not healthy or whatever, you would consider this a person, or no? Because it sounded like
he would say like, yeah, of course, there's other factors. I guess he would say.
I said you would, but
no. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this because this is no. The most important part of this conversation is personhood.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to define.
In the end, they ended up dropping this debate, stating.
Yeah, it honestly seems like over-intellectualizing this topic, to be honest with you.
That abortion arguments were cancerous. From here on, we're going to move into the main disagreements that caused them to sever their relationship. Up until this point, we saw minor disagreements that exposed the differences in how the two approach argumentation and content creation. In June of 2019, Destiny had a conversation with streamer Emiya. Emiya was being accused
Who the fuck are these people?
of being a crypto-Nazi at the time.
What is a crypto-Nazi? What the hell?
Due to her relation to Breitbart, a right-wing news publication. She denied being a Nazi and claimed that she didn't know the origin of the memes that she was spreading. She also claimed that some of the medication she had been taking had caused her to have amnesia about her past behavior.
What? There's no way. What? Does people believe that? That's insane.
Destiny decided to take her at her word and explain to her what crypto-fascism was and how online memes can be used to covertly spread right-wing ideas.
Yeah, or left-wing, I guess, depending on the meme, sure.
This is an insanely complicated topic, but it'll make sense when I finish doing this, okay? So if you're an extremist on the right and your goal is to push some idea, one of the ways that you try to do that is
it's through dehumanization, and the way that you can dehumanize somebody is by making a joke out of them. So you can make a bunch of jokes and memes. It's also a more palatable way for people to ingest knowledge because, like, you know, it's funny. If something is funny, people are more likely to ingest that information.
You push the idea in a way that seems harmless, and it causes two really bad things to happen.
I guess the harmless factor is good too. Sure.
Okay. One is that people will end up spreading memes and they have no idea what their actual intent are. And two, people will attack those people for spreading memes and they'll ascribe malintent to that person, even though they...
Three, when you put funny jokes on your Instagram page, and then people see your political takes, they get upset that you're not actually racist. And then they cry on Twitter and they go, I wish you were like you used to be when you just made racist jokes. I like making edgy jokes. But now you're clear that now it's clear to you that I'm not actually racist. So now you know. At least not as racist as you, okay?
They didn't mean it. And the whole goal of like crypto fascism is to confuse the fuck out of everybody trying to have a conversation. So let's have like a real world example of this. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, it's okay to be white, right?
Yeah, it's all right. Pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing to be.
Yeah, or white lives matter even.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Black Lives Matter starts as a protest, and one way to counter protest, to protest the protest, we could have like a slogan like Black Lives Suck or Black Lives Don't Matter, but the only people that are going to join that are going to be pretty hateful, disgusting people, right? Like you're never going to go very far with that movement. But you could try a counter protest and you could call it White Lives Matter. And then what that does is it gets a ton of people caught up in the middle that really don't understand what's happening. So for instance,
Sure, that's why they should have made Black Lives Matter something different. Instead of making it Black Lives Matter, because you can disagree with Black Lives Matter, and like White Lives Matter. Just say, hey, stop killing black people. What are you going to do? Like a counter movement that's like, no, I disagree. Of course not. So there you go.
well-meaning person might see something like White Lives Matter and they go, oh yeah, well I think all lives matter. Yeah, that's cool. So like I'm going to take on like it's okay to be white or White Lives Matter, all lives matter, because that sounds fine.
I think some people are also just sensitive. They're just like, what about me? Like a lot of people, everybody wants time to shine. Start talking about black people and their struggles. Like, what about my struggles? What about my struggles? I get it.
Nothing wrong with that. But then somebody on the left might see that person and they might think that person knows more than they do. They'll go like, oh, wait, you're just trying to do that because you're trying to muddy the waters. You're trying to get it so people don't know what you're actually saying. And what it causes is it causes people on the left to attack people in the center who have no fucking idea what the fuck is going on. And that kind of like muddying of the waters is the whole goal of creating like that type of meme culture.
In the end, he advised that she renounce her previous behavior and focus on changing her actions for the future.
Damn, and now she doesn't even seem to be relevant anymore.
Hasan then joined the call, calling out Destiny for being what he perceived as being overly charitable to Emiya.
Who cares? Like, it's okay to be a little charitable, people.
I have some actual serious questions for you, just really quickly.
How come Hasan sounds like a little baby pigeon in this? Like, how come he sounds like a little baby boy? Like, does your voice get deeper as you get further into your 30s? Like, I don't understand.
I actually buy into the amnesia stuff.
To some extent, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know if she has fucking, like, SSRI amnesia, but, like, if you were to start pulling up logs of, like, random shit that I've typed in chat rooms, like, years ago, it's entirely possible that I won't fucking remember, like half the shit I fucking said.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. It just sounds preposterous that you would believe that. You could just say, like, yeah, I don't know how much I believe it, but you want to know, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Just because. Why not? You know what I mean? I could respect that.
Totally get that. By the way, there's a gigantic difference between someone like yourself who has openly said and admitted that they have done terrible things or said terrible things and is repenting for them.
Repenting your sins.
Even to this day. So that is completely different. It's completely different than
repenting your sins.
Someone who's like, oh yeah, I don't remember any of the racist things that I said in the past.
No, I do. I'm just kidding. I try not to. It's terrible.
And also all of these other examples, like dating a Milo Yiannopoulos writer, taking a photo of that Milo Yiannopoulos writer as late as like last year or 2 years ago, and then saying that
did Destiny have sex with this girl he was being too charitable to? Because then it would all make sense.
Get wrecked illegals or whatever. I'm actually
just because you date somebody doesn't mean you have to be like a politically aware person. Half the people I've dated probably won't know 95% of the shit that I talk about. I doubt Teresa knows that much about politics. I know that the Japanese girl I dated probably doesn't know that much about politics.
Oh, why? Because she's Japanese? Racist.
Like, I know Rachel sure as fuck doesn't know fuck all about politics. Like, just this idea that like Rachel. Just because you date somebody now you're like super politically aware is totally fantastical. It's not true.
Okay, except did any of those examples of those people, would any of them engage in the same kind of memes as frequently as this person that we're talking about?
Essentially, Hasan's claim was that Destiny was too charitable to this individual who most likely understood the ramifications of the ideology that they were spreading.
Frankly, he was probably true. Probably right. But in Destiny's defense, he's a gooner. He probably wanted to goon hard on that thing, So.
Destiny then responds with claims that left-leaning communities are too quick to bully normies into apologizing immediately, which might
that's
in turn push them away further.
That's probably a good argument. I think that's why a lot of people, at least some people online turned away from the left a little bit because, sometimes it's exhausting to deal with people who are constantly morally, shitting on you. It's not good. Plus, you forced us to vote for a woman. Jesus.
He also asserted that communities that demand apologies like that are unlikely to be forgiving anyway. He made these comments in reference to ongoing criticism he had faced from leftist communities, despite being a progressive himself.
If I haven't changed people's minds, why the fuck would I tell anybody else to waste their time on it? Fuck that shit, dude. And I'll maintain that position. Left-leaning communities are just as cancerous as right-leaning communities when it comes to online discourse. I would never recommend anybody waste their fucking time trying to like win the approval of these cancerous fucking communities. No fucking way.
It's not about holy shit. Okay, it's not about Destiny. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Like, we had this conversation.
Was he playing fucking Dig Dug?
Already.
So you think
and I both engage in the same thing. We hyper focus on all the fucking negative elements and don't look at all the people who are like, no, that's not true. You guys are being fucking insane. I'm a Chapo cell myself, and I think
wait,
it's fucking
you think I'm hyper focusing? We can go over those threads if you want.
The conversation grows increasingly heated from that point forward, with Hasan accusing Destiny of alienating the left-leaning audience with his inflammatory statements. Destiny then claims that Hasan is more divisive than himself, referencing times where Hasan said he wouldn't vote for Joe Biden due to what a Trump presidency could mean for the rights and freedoms of people in the US.
Damn, it's starting to really ramp up now, baby.
Hasan then asserts that voting for Joe Biden is merely a perpetuation of the status quo, and that Biden is essentially a Republican.
The left who not only support you, but even support you through some of the dumber takes that you make that you personally admit are supposed to be inflammatory so you can trigger the left.
Firstly, I never have takes. Firstly, I never have takes that are only inflammatory. I stand by everything I've said, unless I've legitimately changed my mind on it. Firstly, secondly, to sit here
thing is just to exclusively trigger the leftists and have them leave your community.
Because
we had a
okay, firstly, you literally just went on TV in an interview and said you wouldn't vote for Biden over Trump. How are you going to pretend that people here are like equally divisive on both sides? Like, it is absolutely not the case. Like, people on the left purity test and go into this shit way fucking harder than people on the right do. It's why the right have always been more politically effective than people on the left.
True. I mean, he's got a good point.
I made a wait. Do you think that's the same as? Hold on, I'm confused. Do you think that's the same as saying workers are dumb?
What? I mean, if they listen to you, then they are.
Like all workers are fucking dumb, or
no? These are two separate points. I'm responding. First of all, I never said managers are much smarter than workers.
I literally stated why I think it's fucking terrible, because it will go back to business as usual politics, which is the same fucking system, the same structure that gave us Donald Trump to begin with. And the next time around, it's going to be a much worse person than Donald Trump. I followed up my sentiment with.
I mean, his argument is let Trump win so he could watch the system burn. Interesting take. Okay.
Actual facts as to why I feel the way I do about a Joe Biden presidency or a Joe Biden candidacy for the.
Wake up, Joe Biden.
The Democratic Party, which could likely
so when you look at like all of the LGBT people, so when you look at like LGBT people in the United States, women that might lose like the ability to have an abortion, right? Because maybe Ruth Ginsburg's or whatever drops dead, and we have a new Supreme Court justice next year. And you're like, oh well, fuck it, you know. I mean, I just didn't want things to go back to usual, so you know, I'm not going to support the Democratic candidate because you know.
Jesus, Destiny fucking predicted like everything. What? That's actually crazy.
Fuck it, because LOL, like we're not being.
I said I'm considering it, by the way. That's not the same as like I'm not gonna fucking support Joe Biden.
We can go back and watch, but I'm almost positive that you said that you wouldn't vote for Joe Biden. That you said you would like go shack up and live in the woods somewhere, which is cool because you have the privilege to do so.
But I said I'm considering not voting for Joe Biden and living up in the woods and living in an anarcho-primitivist lifestyle, which is like the second. It's a meme, dude.
Yeah, of course it's a meme because Hasan would never give up all of his like possessions. Hasan is full of shit.
Okay. I think you said that you wouldn't vote for Joe Biden. I did watch that as well.
I love everyone in here so much. Okay, I hope you.
By the way, guys, just for the record, I'm also not going to live in the woods. Okay, I'm not actually going to do an anarcho-primitivist lifestyle.
My face.
But he will live on a very bare bones budget of a $200,000 car. Okay, so relax, guys. Just relax.
We sit here and we meme about not voting for the person that gets elected as a Democratic primary because that's just a meme. But Bernie bros literally fucking switched sides in some cases and voted for Trump in the last election. But it's just a meme, guys. LOL. But when the right does it, it's not memes. It's serious. But when the left does it, LOL.
Ultimately, I don't believe that will. Ultimately, I don't believe that if it interferes with the interest of capital, with corporations, they're still never going to push for anything that will damage the status quo in a meaningful way.
Okay.
Okay. So that's one.
That's a good response. Okay, it's not even worth fucking listening to this guy.
Two, beyond that, and
just for the record, I say okay. I understand. I could not disagree with this more. I think this is like one of the most hilariously stupid things. When people on the alt right would literally cheer for any Republican candidate to get through, and we're literally saying that we would take Donald Trump over Biden because it doesn't deal with capitalism or so. I don't even know.
The conversation closes off with Destiny accusing Hasan of being an unpragmatic accelerationist, and Hasan accusing the Democratic Party of being corrupted by capitalist neoliberalism.
I'm sure that. Okay.
End.
I just feel like, is Hasan really the type of person that we're going to listen to and make a change? Like,
Destiny claims that Hasan is arguing from a perspective of extreme privilege.
Firstly.
Well, yeah, of course. He's never had to struggle his entire life.
Secondly, even if he wasn't for healthcare for all, who do you think is going to be a better advocate for healthcare for the average American citizen? Fucking somebody like Donald Trump or somebody like Joe Biden? Like, is he an establishment Democrat?
I mean, Joe Biden was the vice president when they implemented Obamacare, so probably him.
Sure. Do establishment Democrats have shitty positions? Sure. But holy fuck, how fucking lucky are you to be in a position in your life where like, oh, well, I don't give a fuck who gets elected because he's not my fucking guy. And fuck everybody else that might have important social issues that are actually going to ruin their fucking lives because this guy doesn't fall in line and as hardcore as you wanted to be. Like, that's absolutely insane to me. It is the most privileged fucking position you could ever possibly take.
This mentality, I don't give a fuck about Bernie Sanders for being a socialist.
A month later,
Jesus Christ.
The two would debate over Kamala Harris. Destiny disagreed with Hasan's negative portrayal of Kamala as Cop Mala, another subject of the debate.
Wow, they debated that much sooner? Jesus Christ, this is fucking crazy.
Would be about when a person should or shouldn't call the police. Destiny once again...
You should call the police the second that you're afraid. Okay, guys?
...asserted that Hasan argues from a privileged position when he tells his viewers to try and not call the police on others.
I'm calling the police immediately, bro. I'm not going to go out and confront you myself. I'm a taxpayer. I don't have time for that shit.
The two would debate this topic for hours, with Hasan stating that he hates having these types of debates.
Has Hasan ever even needed to call the police before?
Call the cops. I don't even know what I said. I hope someone can fucking clip it, okay? I fucking hate this shit. Every time we have this conversation, you I know I cut you off quite frequently. I know that, right? But so do you. But for some fucking weird reason, the entire thing turns into Hasan kept talking over Destiny, and Hasan was like so fucking dumb or morally lucky in an instance where like we literally agree, and you've done some of the most disingenuous debate tactics that I'm finally going to start fucking calling out every single time that you do it. It is like talking to Ben Shapiro, literally.
Did you catch that? Hasan made reference to the morally lucky comment that Rem made in a previous debate.
Yeah, it must have been eating his balls up on that one.
It's my opinion that Hasan felt extremely insulted by that comment.
Yeah, obviously.
And that it stuck with him for a while. Hasan also likened Destiny to Ben Shapiro at the end of that excerpt.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Destiny is kind of a little bit of a Ben Shapiro.
And called him disingenuous with his debate tactics.
Thank you for the $2 from here for the memes. Weird, I just finished this video. Incredible stuff. Hey, incredible.
These types of comments would become more prominent, more frequent, and eventually would become...
I think that those words mean the same thing, no?
A favorite line of attack that would be used against Destiny for years by various online streaming communities. Both streamers would cut ties with each other for some time after this debate.
Damn.
On October of 2019,
not the best friends.
Destiny would write a manifesto called Clarifying Some Previous Events. This manifesto
fucking manifesto
would become infamous and would later be dubbed the N-word manifesto.
What? The N-word manifesto? Wow, I really don't understand the lore. Why? What the fuck?
The manifesto was this: a long subreddit post that attempted to explain a line of events concerning a recent moral discussion Destiny had on a podcast concerning the morality of public versus private usages of language. The manifesto begins like this: there have been a lot of big drama events that have transpired lately, and I've noticed a lot of people attempting to gaslight me, or my audience and fans, about what events actually transpired.
Okay.
This post is here to serve one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to just document history. I don't expect to set the record straight, because the people who don't believe me and are attempting to revise history are never going to read anything like this anyway. He then explains that he was invited to attend a podcast to discuss a pre-selected list of political issues with a pre-selected cast of streamers. However, two individuals, Cormentine and Cole, had planned beforehand to expose Destiny as, quote, a racist and horrible person.
Based. All right.
According to Destiny, the topic of the N-word was not a part of the agreed-upon debate topics and was brought up during...
Well, yeah, here's my take. You probably shouldn't be using the N-word, privately or publicly. All right? I'm an old school guy. We used to say horrible words when we used to play video games. If I get really angry, sometimes it slips out. I'm not going to lie. Ashamed of myself when it happens. Like I say, I only say it when it's about somebody cutting me off in traffic or when I cut them off because they deserve it. No, but all jokes aside, I've used some words that I shouldn't use privately. Like I try not to. I try to get out of my vocabulary. I've been using terrible fucking words since I was like a kid, you know, playing online video games. So like some of it's a little ingrained, but I try not to use it. I want to cycle that out. You know, you don't want to be using those words, even if you don't have that type of hate in your heart. You know, even if you use a slur as like, I just hate everything, doesn't matter. You shouldn't be using it. Try to get it out of your vocabulary. I don't necessarily think it means you're a horrible person, but you shouldn't be using it. And you shouldn't definitely not be using it when you're talking about certain groups of people. So, you know what I mean? That's what I would say. Just don't try not to use it, guys. Not a good, bad words. Those are bad words.
During the debate in order to blindside him, with the host...
Don't use bad words, guys.
Later confirming that Cole requested that the topic be added.
How does Andre react when we bring up that the N-word topic is the next topic? Does he shy away from it and say, hold on,
this isn't really a responsible topic to have right here. I don't think we have the right people, the right moderator, the right setting for it.
By the way, I'm just talking about the N-word with the hard R. If you're singing a really good rap song, don't make your music so good if you don't want me to sing along. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Does he say, well, hold on, I'm going to withdraw from this conversation because I don't want to be a part of it? Or Destiny should step back because he shouldn't be a part of it. Well, what does Quarantine say when we ambush me with this topic? By the way, when this comes up, this is the first time, Andre is Quarantine down here. This is the first time that I hear that I'm going to be talking about this. What is the response?
I have no idea what the hell's really going on.
I'm sorry. So I don't know if you can hear him, but after he brings up that we're talking about the N-word topic, he literally says, that's the only one I came here for. Let's fucking go.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Good one.
Let's fucking go.
So which is it? Okay.
Cool James Cash is funny, but that was illuminating to how he lacks perspective. He just was like unable to have like a conversation. And it's like, why do you want to have like he
I'm not understanding. I'm truly not understanding the. I'm not understanding Destiny's issue with the debating of the N-word. What's the problem here? Like, what am I missing?
He was the one that asked for this topic. Why did you want to have this topic if you weren't able to like engage in a conversation? You just wanted to like meme and shit on people. Like, what the fuck?
What exactly is happening? Am I missing something? Can somebody explain to me exactly what's happening? Like, how is it this a dunker or an own on Destiny?
Prior to the debate, Cole
were they gonna play an audio clip of him saying a slur? I don't understand. They ambush him on it. Yeah, but like, what's the ambush mean? Like, hey, should we use like what is the question that it makes it seem like makes it an ambush? Hey, you shouldn't use these words. Oh, damn, he jumped right the fuck on top of me, boy.
Cole would subtweet at Destiny about the
I'm not understanding the ambush thing, I guess. I guess I don't understand the context that makes it like an ambush.
upcoming podcast. He reportedly
People on the other side of the debate said that they didn't come to debate it. I'm very confused, guys. You'll explain it to me eventually.
said, I'm not one of these, I debate for a living. I'm not one of these internet dudes. I don't at you, I get at you. When you see me outside of here, it's the same energy. Destiny continues in his manifesto to state that
he wasn't prepared for it? What's to be prepared for? I don't understand that.
Cole would antagonize him again before they even reached the infamous topic at hand. This was to support his primary claim of the manifesto, which was that Destiny was intentionally ambushed by two streamers who disliked him beforehand.
I'm not understanding what makes it an ambush. He wasn't ready for what topic? What's the topic of should you use the N-word? I don't. What is it? Oh, it somehow turned into Destiny constantly drops N-bombs in private. Oh, okay. I guess that makes more sense.
During a live podcast on a touchy subject. And it's
he said he's saying they knew it was coming in advance and had prepared, but he hadn't had an opportunity to think through the position before it, given the sensitivity of the topic. I guess I just don't get it, because it just seems like it's a bad word. Or what's to prepare for, I guess. But all right, it's a very debatey take on that, I guess.
It spiraled out of control into a large-scale drama, resulting in the collapse of numerous streaming communities. Destiny's moral position was this: if one is not racist, is in a private setting, and is among individuals they know not to be racist, then making edgy jokes for shock value does not necessarily make the individual racist themselves.
I mean, I agree, but I don't think you have to use the N-word to... I don't think you have to use the N-word to make a joke. Thanks for $5 from Antares, 1997. Byron's hair went from balding to budding. He is a new Benjamin Button. Okay, guys, that's the one. That's the one for the stream.
And that edgy jokes, even ones you...
Destiny called them all N-words before the live stream. Is that what happened?
Using the N-word can be possible
okay,
without the joke itself being immoral or the person speaking the joke being racist. In 2020...
I think it's a little hard for somebody to use the N-word without being racist, but I suppose it can be done if you just think the word's funny or something. I just feel like, what a weird... Why even debate that?
He extends this position, stating that difficult conversations about slurs are necessary, and when they are had, they should include the direct use of the slurs themselves in order to address the full weight of the topics. In 2024, he would once again clarify his stance on the N-word.
Fans who genuinely don't know if you enjoy saying the N-word, and that's why you're a kick streamer now. I don't like to give the honest answer because I don't want you to think that I'm giving you an answer for a different reason. The reality is I just don't really say the N-word. It's not in my vocabulary.
I don't really say it.
But it's not because I'm opposed to saying it. I don't want you to think that. Because if it was a part of my vocabulary, I probably wouldn't give a fuck.
I'm opposed to saying it. It's not a good word. Why does he say it like this? Well, it's not a good word.
So it's not that I don't say it on principle, okay? Because I don't care. It's that I don't, it's just not part of my vocabulary. I grew up playing RTS. In the RTS world, we call people That was our slur.
No, we call people the N-word too. Let's just be clear, okay? I grew up playing Dota. We said some pretty terrible things. To be absolutely honest with you, one of the reasons why I don't play online video games anymore is because I can't handle it. Like competitive MOBAs. Like I'll play Heroes of the Storm sometimes. For some reason that game doesn't tilt me, but if I play League or Dota, especially I'll start saying slurs, man. I can't be doing that. It's inappropriate. It's tough. It's tough. I get fucking tilted and pissed off, and it's not fun. So, something there.
Way back then. If I was an FPS player, I'd probably be a prolific N-word sayer. There'd be N-bombs of me all over the internet.
I remember Destiny was debating the morality of sex between gay 19-year-old twins in college. Isn't that just like jacking off, though? That's like jacking off, right? It's just like the two dudes jacking off,
But that's just not what we said in the artist world. We use the F slur. My stance on slurs is that if you want to tell jokes or be funny or whatever, you can do that. But don't be racist. You can be racist with slurs. It's very easy to be racist with slurs. You can be racist without slurs. Whether or not at the end of the day somebody uses
I can
a slur, I just don't usually give a f. There are so many other things that I care about when it comes to looking at people's behavior. When PewDiePie dropped that atomic N-bomb on the bridge in PUBG, right? I don't give a f. He shouldn't have said it. It's probably an ordinary. It was definitely a normal word of his vocabulary. He said it, which was probably not good. But
probably just like an angry word in his vocabulary. You got those angry words, those untapped words.
If I hate black people, I don't know. There's no information. I just don't care that much. I mean, you shouldn't say slurs that make people uncomfortable around you and stuff. I think that's true for anything, whether it's coming to misgendering somebody or swearing in general or whatever. But I just for me, slurs are not a huge thing that I'm obsessed with. It's just not a thing that I care that much.
I just feel like you could have been it's not a good thing to use them. Try to keep them out of your vocabulary. I feel like that's pretty good. But okay.
I just don't care that much.
The manifesto continues to explain that from that point forward, Quarantine and Cole would become rhetorically aggressive towards Destiny, lobbing both direct and indirect insults at him throughout. Okay. Destiny claims that all of this was a performance, with the two streamers pretending to be indignant about the topic, when behind the scenes, they were the ones who asked for it. They would also insult another black streamer on the panel as well.
Damn.
They would also insult another black streamer on the panel and longtime community member Relevant, calling him an Uncle Tom for agreeing with Destiny's position.
Damn, that's kind of racist.
In the manifesto,
I feel like I could understand why a black person might be more okay with casual racism from white people. And I feel like it's because white people are always casually racist. I think, I'm not even making a joke here. I think one of the reasons why I have a surprisingly, I think, kind of large black audience is because I'm a big white boy that black women think is sexy. But then also, I'm kind of ignorant, but I'm honest. I feel like most black people, they're probably tired of being around white people that treat them like fucking kids. That's it. That's my take. That's what I feel. Who's Relly? What does that mean? What am I missing here? But I feel like a lot of, it's okay, I'd rather have the ignorant white guy who knows he's being kind of stupid, but he means well, versus the fucking, your Karen that treats you like you're a fucking different species. Thanks for $5 from Darky Sharky. Welcome to Captain Navarro. Dude, I can't do these memes anymore. So you're the replacement. You are out of uniform, soldier. Where's your power armor? Okay, incredible.
He claims that Quarantine attempted to go brother to brother with Relevant, but then decided that Relevant wasn't black enough for the conversation and attempted to gatekeep.
That's fucked up.
Him. He tells Relevant that your blackness does not make you answerable here. And Destiny said in the manifesto that this was one of the most disgusting and racist things he's seen in the conversation so far. The Surfs, Mike from PA, Bad Bunny, and Trihex would also catch some strays in this manifesto as well. While the manifesto was not about the N-word, by 2024, it would almost exclusively be referred to as the N-word manifesto within the streaming community. Ever heard this before?
It's always... Do you think black people...
What a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
Yes.
What? I've never heard the certified hood classic part in the background. What the hell is that?
Hasan's Weasley Little Liar Dude Rage Smash was in reaction to Destiny reading...
See, Hasan's another kind of person who probably can't play Dota or League of Legends because he would say slurs, you know what I mean?
...out his manifesto. When Destiny read his manifesto on stream...
What about the womanifesto, am I right, guys?
...said that, unlike Hasan, he would never lie to a black person about his positions, in reference to Trihex.
Nothing I do is performative.
True.
So... I'm not going to, for instance, I'll use Hasan as an example. I'm not going to talk to a black person like Trihex and say, hey, the N-word, it's always... do you think black people?
What a fucking liar, dude.
After the manifest,
Hasan does come off as that guy. Thank you for the $5 from Angel. Hey, Papa, do you prefer casual racism or competitive racism? It depends. It depends on what I'm doing. I'm more of a casual racism guy on my day-to-day life because, you know, I don't want to be too sweaty about it. But when I'm around Italian people, it's 100% competitive. I have to be the best. And it's hard because Italians, they love racism.
manifesto was released, Hasan would disallow
That's why I'm friends with them.
the mention of Destiny from his streams for multiple years. This disallowment was implicit, with people who mentioned Destiny being called out and told not to mention him. But sometimes the disallowment was explicit, with
I feel like I'm not really understanding the exact moment that these two had a falling out, but it seems like their relationship was toxic from the start. And honestly, I could believe. Here's my thing. I believe Destiny probably really liked Hasan because Destiny is cringe and like a girl, and has a girl's name and a girl stripper's name. So he probably genuinely liked Hasan. I think Hasan was just trying to revolve around Destiny because he was popular and could have helped platform his career. Especially since Hasan is not used to having to build anything of himself because he was rich his entire life and his mom and dad gave him everything, and then his uncle Cenk gave him the position on his show or whatever, and then he pretty much had everything handed to him, and so he was just looking for fast track until he wasn't able to handle it anymore because he's a very ego sensitive person. So that's what I think. That's what I think there.
people who mentioned Destiny
Honestly.
being banned from his chat. Even on his subreddit, we see people using the words Pepe La D to reference Destiny as far back as 4 years ago. From this point on, Hasan would reduce his direct interaction with Destiny, and much of the remainder of their feud would be held through them talking about one another, but not directly to one another. After the 2023 October 7th attacks on Israel, Hasan lifted this ban and begun to react and speak about Destiny to an increasing degree. It was at this point that their feud would become increasingly upfront.
It would become.
But before we leave the year of 2019, I should mention that there's something called the Destiny Awards. It's a yearly award show created by the
Is this a real Destiny Awards? Is it like a real show?
Destiny community to remember all of the various lore and drama that occurred over the year. There's
That's
a category called Antagonist of the Year, and in 2019, Hasan would win this award with 47.9% of the vote, beating
Lucky him. You know, I once won Rising Streamer of the Year award 2 times. Isn't that crazy? Really rising a lot.
out figures like Mike PA, Jesse Lee Peterson, and even
It's weird because they used to call me bread, so I think that they were trying to say that I'm like fat because I'm rising, you know?
Nick Fuentes. This goes to show that the feud was fully solidified between the fan bases by the end of the year, and Hasan would appear as a top 5 nominee for this category every single year since 2019. For the next 2 years, the relationship between the two would
It's a couple of weird editing moments in this video.
between the two
It's really good though.
would become increasingly sour, as Hasan refused to interact with Destiny in any public capacity. This resulted in 2 separate communities with 2 different recollections on the events that led up to the severing of their relationship. Destiny has maintained that Hasan did this so that he can poison the well against Destiny to his audience and maintain full narrative control over who Destiny is as a person. Hasan, on the other hand, maintains that Destiny is a right-wing cult leader who weaponizes his audience and is a negative force for online politics. It's also in this time period that Hasan would start a podcast with Ethan Klein called Leftovers.
There's probably a little bit of truth to both. I mean, it sounds a disingenuous dick. Fuck, I'm out of hiccups. Oh, fuck. But Destiny's community is toxic. Hold on. All right, I think I'm back. Sorry, I got the hiccups and I'm coughing, but like I'm saying, Destiny's community can be a little toxic. I was watching him a little bit the other day talking about how he wishes his community wouldn't harass some people that he like tries to engage with, like Hank Green or something. You know, so both communities are very toxic. Yeah, Hasan's community bullying Ethan Klein. Sorry, guys.
And Hasan would see continued success as a political commentator and streamer. It was also at this time.
I mean, like, realistically, I think without the Leftovers podcast, Hasan would have just like fallen into oblivion. Ethan saved him. And then, you know, Hasan tried to ruin Ethan at this point.
That Hasan would appear in a Complex video in which he stated that he paved his career on his own. This quote would become a meme in the Destiny community due to the fact that Destiny helped Hasan launch his career back.
Everybody did something. Everybody did something for him. I mean, his uncle Cenk, whatever, gave him his platform in the first place.
Back when he was a community member.
I just made my own choices and built my own business model, I guess, if I were to use a term like that.
I honestly can't believe that he would unironically say this.
Paved it on my own. I paved it on my own. Paved it on my own.
I paved it on my own.
That's embarrassing for him to lie about that.
Shout out to Destiny, by the way.
How humble is he?
Oh yeah, I forgot to say, yeah.
Oh, you know of him? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we have like somebody in the gaming community who's actually pushing back.
Hell yes, that's actually Destiny's the reason why I know about Trihex as well.
If Destiny was my roommate, I'd get him laid all the time.
It's because he'd be fucking him. Who do you think taught him to give that head game? Fuck him, shot. My hiccups.
I was like, all right, whatever. Well, I don't have anything. Like, I don't have anything. I have no option. I'm in the next 11 days. So much so that, like, Steven was DMing me on Discord and saying, hey, you know what? If you don't have a place to live, buddy, like, you can come stay with me. It's okay. What a good guy. Destiny is a great guy.
You know, I feel that. I remember there was another TikToker back in the day who had he was potentially gonna like lose his house and stuff. And I was like, listen, man, if you can't figure anything out, you can come live with me. I have no problem with you staying with me for a little while. My wife and I talked about it. It was all good. And then he just like stopped interacting with me, unfollowed me at some point. Maybe because I had like a little bit of a toxic moment, but I feel like considering how good of a friend I was to that guy, he would have been a little more charitable.
It's important to note that 2020 to 2021 was a bubbling up period for their relationship, with both communities duking it out through the proxy of social media and clips. Take the subreddit Livestream Fails, for instance. Any post containing the words Destiny or Hasan would receive an extreme amount of upvotes and comments, with commenters making note of this all the time. On almost any post about Destiny or Hasan, you could expect one of the top comments to be about how much engagement the post was about to get. It ended up getting to the point where the Livestream Fails community moderators created a rule that banned any clips involving Hasan versus Destiny drama. Some Redditors noted how this would cut off a large portion of the subreddit's engagement. Over the years, these little comments made one by one have piled up, and Destiny has been called everything.
Ooh, I think my head hiccups are over, guys.
From anti-Semitic, racist, pro-genocide, sexist, a cuckold. There have been attacks on his marriage, and also assertions that he is pro-incest and victim blames victims of sexual assault.
Damn.
All of these claims and things being said about Destiny would contribute to his fan base's perception of him as an underdog who was fighting an uphill battle against ideologically compromised internet influencers. And as the accusations would pile up, the Destiny fanbase would continue to become more and more loyal to him, with them at some point constructing a wiki complete with entries of nearly everyone Destiny has ever interacted with, every disagreement or agreement that
Am I on there?
they've had,
I
and
hope
links to specific moments in streams where things were said. Their idea is that if they compile enough information with sources, eventually, one day, people who have been primed to dislike Destiny will stumble upon the information and change their mind. Destiny, on his stream, has repeatedly said that he receives emails from people and private messages stating that all it took was for them to watch one stream of Destiny's to see that the portrayal of him and the version of him that is seen on stream are two completely different people. In 2022, Reddit hosted a site-wide game called r/place. The game was simple. Each Reddit user could place a single colored pixel on an ever-expanding
This is funny. I remember this was crazy.
canvas with a cooldown. Subreddit communities use this as an opportunity to flex their coordination abilities, community size, and artistic ability by building elaborate murals, logos, or flags. Wars over space on the board begin early, with communities attempting to defend their artwork for the duration of the event. Alliances are formed, and borders are created. Destiny's community, as previously stated, is particularly coordinated, with the community creating various browser plugins to overlay their artwork and templates on the r/place board, and with Destiny himself commanding his audience like a general.
January's go.
This was funny.
January's go. Extend the flag leftward. Get rid of this worm emote. Get rid of the worm. We don't need this here. We don't accept racism here.
At some point, Hasan and Will Neff's communities teamed up to draw the emotes of their respective dogs on the board. The dog on the left is Fish, the dog we saw Destiny playing with in the intro of this documentary.
This is
Fish
fucked
had
up.
died sometime before this event had taken place. Sometime afterward, the Destiny community invaded this plot of pixels to replace Fish with the Hungarian flag. Hasan quickly recognized that it was Destiny fans doing this by looking into the usernames of accounts attached to the pixels. The Destiny community then revealed itself by overlaying a blue D on the Hungarian flag, and by making Will's dog look like it was crying over his lost friend.
It's so fucked up.
Dude, Destiny, that is low, man. That is low. You took out his fucking dog, and you put a D? Oh my god, you're a monster. The Dalman has absolutely no... And you made Will's dog cry. Dude, what is wrong with you?
That's right.
Truly sick stuff.
That's fucked up. It's funny. I'm still hiccuping.
Many Reddit communities condemned Destiny's community for this invasion, calling
Who gives a fuck? It gives a shit. It's a fucking dog.
it morally wrong. And due to Hasan's reaction to this event,
You know what was so sad yesterday? There was a dead squirrel next to, like, in my house. It must have got electrocuted on the wires, you know, the telephone wires. and I picked it up with a shovel and I put it in the garbage can. I said, "Rest in peace, little guy." The hell else am I supposed to do?
And the Destiny community dubbed this as K911 in reference to Hasan's 9/11 comments, as well as the grief that it caused.
September, October out. Let's go. October.
No, I'm not even gonna fucking respond, dude. I don't care. They're disgusting and they're fucking gross freaks. But don't.
Oh no! Who did that?
We'll get to r/plays in a little bit.
He's mad. He's probably look at that gum. He wants to smoke a cigarette.
Look,
he can't stop talking about it though. He's gonna. Oh wait, is he?
This is why I don't think you're truly brain broken. There's so much farther down you could go. Yeah, I don't care.
Keep hating your life then,
Like,
working class Andy.
In 2022,
I think it's finally over. Ah, fuck! These fucking hiccups!
formally invaded Ukraine. A warning was sent out to
Yeah, Hasan justified it by saying there were Russians there, even though Russia had genocided Ukrainians through starvation over decades to put them there. So Hasan's a fucking cuck.
Joe Biden earlier in the year on February 5th.
He's just a conservative cuck.
That Russia had amassed 70% of the soldiers required for a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. A few days later, on February 8th, Hasan claimed that Russia couldn't go to war with Ukraine and that the only people pushing this idea were Western actors.
Russia and Ukraine can't go to fucking war. It's ridiculous.
Why?
This idea that Russia is going to do a land invasion into Ukraine is psychotic, okay? That's not going to happen. And the only people that want that to happen or act like it could potentially happen are Western backers of war, okay? People that are far away. People that will stand to benefit from this because they're going to sell weapons.
Days later, again, on February 11th, the White House intelligence warned that an invasion of Ukraine was at hand and told U.S. citizens to leave the country as soon.
I love how it's just the fault of like Western people that want to make money off of weapons. Russia is never the problem in these instances from him.
As possible. On stream, Hasan asserted that the U.S. was acting suspicious and that Russia wanted peace. He also put forward the idea that NATO was the one goading Russia into war.
Vladimir Putin is saying he wants to keep negotiating, and that everyone else is saying that we should keep negotiating. Germany is saying that we should keep negotiating, we should de-escalate. The Ukrainians think we should de-escalate, but America's like, nah, fuck that, and flailing around for the past 2 months saying like, no, Russia's literally gonna fucking do this. Russia's gonna invade tomorrow. Russia's gonna invade next day. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Like a bunch of fucking QAnon supporters saying that like the storm is coming, but the storm is Russian invasion that's imminent. It's like, it's gonna happen. Oh, it didn't happen this week. It's gonna happen next week. They said it over and over again. Everyone else is literally just like, America, just shut the fuck up. Like, please. That was the one instance where Donald Trump actually did a good fucking job with North Korea and South Korea. Like the Korean unification talks and the denuclearization talks.
Good God. On February 16th, only a few days after that, Hasan uploaded a video to YouTube titled, "I was right about the war in Ukraine." This video featured a description that stated, "Are we going to war? No."
Wow, he was so right.
Russia has started pulling back troops after their military exercises. They were never going to invade Ukraine, and the Western media has been fear-mongering and banging the war drums.
So then why would they do that?
The whole time. This video has since been deleted from Hasan's channel, but it's available to view on the Wayback Machine. Then the next day, on February 17th, Hasan tweets, "This is the hill I will die on. Russia cannot launch an urban counterinsurgency war in a neighboring country with 44 million people, with or without NATO support. This is why I've been saying he won't invade Ukraine, not because of anything else. He's a bad person, not a mad one." And then, on February 21st, Putin officially ordered that his troops invade Ukraine.
Damn, I can't believe that Vladimir Putin got manipulated by destiny to invade Ukraine. Sorry, hiccups. Ukraine, just to spite Hasan. That's crazy.
Hasan acknowledged that he was wrong. However, he did soften this apology by making continuous claims about Western propaganda. Notably, he claims that the rumors of an incoming attack on Kyiv could be the result of propaganda.
And I was wrong. I think that if the reports are true, because there's been a lot of information that has been wrong, completely wrong, and there's still a lot of information that the Western State Department is pumping out by way of mainstream media about like Russia is going to go and overtake Kiev.
Just 3 days later, the Russian army would attempt to take Kyiv. Earlier in their relationship, Destiny criticized Hasan for his handling of breaking news, asserting that Hasan contributed to unconfirmed narratives rather than waiting for more information to come out. Destiny would use Hasan's takes on the Russian invasion of Ukraine as proof that Hasan did not change his behavior and was now acting as a political propagandist. If you'd like to learn more about the war in Ukraine from an on-the-ground reporter, check out the channel by...
Check out Hasanabi. He's an on-the-ground reporter. He reads tweets from unverified sources that agree with his perspective.
Dylan Burns. He's been in Ukraine for some time now and has been cataloging the war and speaking to everyday Ukrainians. Destiny was banned indefinitely from Twitch in March of 2022. The exact reason for this ban would remain shrouded in mystery for quite some time, before later being revealed in 2024 as the result of comments he made about the trans community during the end of his pro-trans debate arc.
Your one-on-one voice trans debates lately have gone well. Don't cancel. It's just not worth it. That community is never worth engaging with. There's just no point in doing it. Like, it's too, the risk of me like ending up getting like permabanned and my life destroyed because of these like inbred fucking disgusting losers is like, it's just not worth it. It's just totally not worth it.
The ban.
He's so stupid. I think what he was trying to say was that there is an online trans community that is not representative of all trans people that are very toxic. And there's probably a level of truth to that, because that's true of any community of people. But obviously it comes off there that he thinks all trans people are disgusting. These fucking hiccups are pissing me off. It obviously comes off that he thinks all trans people are disgusting. So he deserved that ban, honestly.
And would lead to another infamous manifesto, but the persistence of the ban over the years would lead to speculation.
That was not Dylan Burns, that's true.
Surrounding Hasan's cultural influence over Twitch, Twitch moderation practices, streamer favoritism, and would eventually climax in the 2024 alleged Twitch adpocalypse, which was an investigation into corruption and anti-Semitism within Twitch's moderation structure, led by Dan Saltman, Destiny's co-host on the Anything Else podcast. The Destiny lore goes deep, and it has branches that lead into unexpected areas. For the next year or so, Destiny would choose to focus on growing his YouTube community and would appear on many Red Pill podcasts to debate against the Red Pill ideology. He would also start—
That's true, making the rounds, still is.
Part 2 of his own podcasts, as well as continuing to appear in various debates, Twitter Spaces, and other public appearances, such as canvassing, appearances on Vice, Piers Morgan, Lex Friedman, Jubilee, and many others. Due to the fact that Destiny's most active community members were centralized on his custom chat room on his website, as well as his Reddit community and Discord, he was easily able to migrate fan bases from Twitch onto YouTube or Kick, where
yeah, that's smart.
As most,
I think it was Kick at the first, because YouTube at first. Kick came a while after. Motherfucker, I can't stop hiccuping.
Other streamers would have seen a much larger hit in their collective audiences. Because of the creation of the Destiny.gg website, key members of his community are able to migrate with Destiny to whatever live streaming platform he switches to without having to switch which chatting platform they use. This means that the viewing experience for users on the Destiny.gg website remains consistent, regardless of which platform Destiny streams on. This creation from early on in Destiny's career ended up paying off in 2022 to 2024
That's good.
By allowing Destiny
That's a good thing. I wish I could do more commentary, but I still have these fucking hiccups. I mean, that's a really smart play, though, I'll say.
To stream on YouTube.
Because even today, like, I used to stream on Twitch, and I think I'm much better. Motherfucker. I think I'm doing pretty solid now, but for a while, it's tough to migrate those people over. You know, they don't even realize it.
YouTube, Kick, and Twitter without having to necessarily make the core part of his audience switch platforms. This Twitch ban, however, would prevent Destiny from appearing on stream with any Twitch streamer lest they also get banned. As Destiny—
It's funny because back then I was still reacting to Destiny on Twitch and I never had a problem. Motherfucker.
He would claim throughout the years following. This allowed Hasan to have a monopoly on Twitch politics and Twitch culture in his absence, as he believed he was one of the few people—
Good thing Twitch is like falling down the fucking rabbit hole. I feel like YouTube streaming is so much better. It's like consistent. You can pull everybody to one platform, make it nice and easy and simple. I like it more.
Willing to seriously challenge.
They pay well financially. Ads are less intrusive.
Hasan. This would further
Bro, I've been holding my breath like constantly. It's not helping, okay? It's fucked up.
Isolate the two communities from one another, with Twitch political culture becoming increasingly pro-Hasan, and the more general liberal YouTube community becoming more pro-Destiny. Despite being banned, however, Destiny would maintain friendships behind the scenes with many streamers such as XQC and Trainwrecks, and would continue to discuss political topics with them on Kick.com. It was 2023, and their feud had been bubbling up since 2019. On October 7th, 2023, Hamas would launch a surprise attack against—
I thought she said a mouse, but it was Hamas, true.
Israel, taking some as hostages and killing others. This event would begin Destiny's Israel-Palestinian research arc.
Yeah, this was a hell of an arc.
In which he attempted to learn as much about the Israel-Palestinian conflict.
Yeah, but he only used source, his only source was Wikipedia. Okay, Wikipedia is not very credible. Unless you're Hasan, who thinks that Wikipedia is very credible. Me personally, though, of course not. No, I think Wikipedia is probably one of the best, most credible places ever. It's a collection of information. It was funny when I was in high school, at least. I don't know how they do it now. They used to tell people not to use it because it's like an unverified source, but it's like the best place you can go. It's funny.
As well as some other countries in the Middle East, in order to come up with a position on how the war should be handled. This event would also lead to the ending of the podcast Leftovers that Hasan had with Ethan Klein, and it would also cause Destiny and Hasan to make direct references to one another.
Well, I mean, Hasan, this is the thing, is that like Hasan started acknowledging Destiny at this moment as well, because he was like falling off so bad at the time. Again, the only thing that kept him alive was fucking Ethan Klein. Look at how that backfired.
Again, as also stated earlier, it would eventually also lead to the Twitch adpocalypse after Dan Saltman exposed some alleged anti-Semitic behavior.
It ain't no alleged, dude. It's anti-Semitic dog whistling from Hasan and his little cronies, okay?
On the platform by both streamers and staff members, as well as a full-scale ban on Israelis from creating new Twitch accounts. If you'd like to see
I think it also encompassed Palestinians as well, but Palestinian people were using like the internet from Egypt or something. I don't know all the specifics, but
documentary on the Twitch adpocalypse, let me know. Destiny was generally disliked by many leftist political commentators at this time due to his unwillingness to call the Israel-Palestinian war a genocide. Hasan would also criticize Destiny on his use of Wikipedia during the Israel-Palestinian research arc, despite, however, calling Wikipedia a scholarly source in the past.
I think Destiny's never really been a leftist. There was like a brief moment where I thought he might be, but he was not. He's just a very annoying liberal who says incredibly reactionary and edgy shit on a regular basis and will defend it. Yeah, he's perma-stuck on whatever the liberal status quo is, and he'll always defend it. And I think part of the reason why is because if you're going to base your worldview off of like empirical evidence, there's a whole bit of information that's readily available on the liberal side, right?
I mean, I understand what Hasan's trying to say. That there isn't, that a lot of information is like lost to history, I guess, but it makes him sound like really fucking stupid.
Why is he making fun of me for?
Like, it's great. You can just like go to Wikipedia and just churn out, misunderstand what the fuck Wikipedia pages are telling you, and make it seem as if infinitely more knowledgeable on the subject matter than the idiotic right-wingers that you're duking it out with.
When did Wikipedia become a scholarly source? I don't know. When you can literally click on...
Guys, Hasan has matured. He has realized that Wikipedia is not a scholarly source anymore, and that the true scholarly source are Twitter pages that have no source because history, you know?
On the actual articles that link back to scholarly sources, or at least like news articles from the time.
This line of attack was then repeated by various other members of the political commentary community and the streaming community as a whole. As a result, Destiny requested that his community compile clips of him reading scholarly sources for him to be able to post on social media in response to these comments. His fanbase then began to construct edits and fan cams of him reading books and articles. It was also during the years prior that Destiny was called a gusano by members of Hasan's community.
That's a racist term against Destinies. I think it's against Cuban people, right?
Hasan himself and other online leftists. The term gusano is considered an ethnic slur against Cubans, and ever since Destiny made note of this, there has been an ongoing war.
Well, Hasan likes to be racist, right? So just not against the people. He just likes to be safe racist, just against people that it's socially acceptable to hate against.
Or on Wikipedia over the entry of gusano as an ethnic slur, with it being removed and added back over and over again. Destiny's community also began to make edits of Hasan's method of research, which in their mind consists of only watching YouTube videos and reading tweets. It was also around this time that Destiny began to grow again as a mainstream prominent liberal commentator. He appeared on the Lex Fridman podcast to debate Norm Finkelstein in an episode that would become infamous in the Destiny community for Norm's refusal to use Destiny's real last name, and outside of the Destiny community.
Why? What did he say instead? Like, did you get the name wrong over and over again?
For a showing of scholars insulting Destiny and challenging him in a debate. Hasan would officially react to Destiny's appearance on Lex Fridman, but he would cover Destiny up with his own camera so as not to be banned on Twitch. This would mark the first time that...
But that doesn't make any sense, though. That should be against the rules. He should have gotten in trouble for that. Why wouldn't they get him in trouble for that? He's trying to bypass their shit.
Hasan genuinely reacted to Destiny content in long form and addressed Destiny by name since 2016. The takeaway from the Destiny community was this: Destiny had finally become too big to exclude or ignore in the Twitch
Probably, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
online political space, despite not being on the platform or being able to interact with Twitch political commentators while live. Hasan also interviewed a Houthi pirate live on stream during the peak of his Israel-Palestine.
You mean Luffy? Monkey Day Luffy? That's who you're talking about? Okay, you're being so silly right now.
And news coverage. This stream would go on to be highly controversial, with many people upset that Hasan did not provide.
He told some girl prior to the debate that he was just going to make fun of Destiny the whole time and not take him seriously. Oh, okay.
Any pushback to the goofy pirate, and instead chose to ask questions such as, what kinds of anime does he watch? This clip would anger Destiny and other liberal content creators, as they felt that Twitch was playing a dangerous game with allowing Hasan to host a terrorist live on the platform without considering the impact that it could have both for the people watching and for advertisers. This interview would call into question Twitch's handling of content moderation, and it would also be used as an example of favoritism at the hands of the moderation team during the Twitch 2024.
Guess he was just a kid. There's no way he'd be media trained immediately. Even though he said he was media trained. I remember that thing's fucking crazy.
Alleged apocalypse. It would also evoke a callback among the Destiny community over Destiny's repeated claims that Hasan is irresponsible in how he handles breaking news and news coverage, and his other claims that Hasan operates as a political propagandist rather than a journalist.
So what is the argument? You just don't report on anything less than a month old?
Fuck yeah. We can make it hyperbolic, but until for a couple days. Or you can report all the facts, but don't frame a narrative. Listen, if I'm not allowed to drive a car until 7 weeks after having a drink, then you're not allowed to report breaking news.
Hold on. I have a very limited window and a very limited opportunity to get a message across in these sorts of videos, right?
The tension between the Hasan community and the
justifying fucking getting shit wrong is interesting. Very Hasan coded.
Destiny community would continue to rise to newer heights after this interview and throughout the remainder of the Israel-Palestinian conflict. Due to Destiny's early start as a Twitch streamer, his interactions with Hasan at the beginning of his career, the breaking of their relationship, then Destiny's ban on Twitch, into a resurgence where he became more popular than ever before, the DGG community tends to consider Destiny as an underdog who managed to beat the odds and sustain his career. And the current mentality,
yeah, I guess so. I mean, he's still sticking around.
Of the community is that Destiny's approach to
he's very popular. I feel like Destiny's more popular than Hasan. I mean, he's more, or maybe I don't know if that's or he's more, I don't know, more effective. I don't know. I mean, Destiny's constantly, I don't know, I feel like Destiny constantly goes on like other people's shows and stuff and is more popular and known by a wider like range of communities, whereas Hasan is like known by one community, you know?
The content creation is now beginning to pay dividends, and that his popularity will soon surpass Hasan himself. This is their rationale for why Hasan has begun to address Destiny so publicly as of recently. Destiny continues to assert that Hasan uses his platform to irresponsibly put forth anti-democratic positions to his audience, and in 2023, Hasan would once again win the Antagonist of the Year award in the 2023 Destiny Awards, beating out Sneeko and Brittany Simon. We've now reached the
damn Brittany Simon
current year of 2024, and the feud is still strong and ongoing. In May, Piers Morgan attempted to set up an episode where Hasan and Destiny would debate, but
that'd be interesting. I'm down to hear it. Let's hear the Hasan Destiny debate.
He was allegedly unable to because Hasan didn't respond.
Divorce elite, so they think like that's the position to take.
The Piers Morgan people today reached out to me. They said, "Hi, would you be interested in debating Hasan Piker on either Tuesday or Thursday next week?" I said, yeah, sure, but there's no way he will agree. And they said, checking. We'll see.
In the same month,
I'd love to see it. We'd all love to see it. It'd be interesting.
Destiny revealed that his ex-wife Melina had an affair with Will Neff.
Yep.
Hasan,
because I guess Destiny wasn't a very attentive lover, and he's also kind of he's also kind of like a shitty person. I'm not an attentive lover, an attentive partner. Also kind of an immature asshole. Yeah, probably true. I feel like if Hasan dated, this would be the same information that you'd hear about him. They're just two sides of the same coin when it comes to their immaturity.
Hasan's close friend. Although Destiny's marriage was open, Will's relationship was not. Will allegedly told Melina that Hasan consumes Destiny content religiously.
Even offline when hanging out with these people. Oh, yes. Oh, I guess I can say that now because fuck them both. Melina, in between talking to me about fucking Will and showing me his fucking dick pictures on her fucking phone when they weren't trying to hook up behind his girlfriend's back, Melina would tell me that Will would tell her that Hasan religiously follows my shit. So I guess I kind of lied about that publicly when I'm like, do these people actually watch me that much? They do. Hasan obsessively follows a lot of my shit. And I knew that because Will told that to Melina.
2 days.
Maybe he was just trying to jerk you off. Who knows?
Days later, the Destiny community uploaded a compilation video showing that Hasan knows a lot of detailed Destiny lore, despite not paying attention to Destiny at all. Allegedly. Hasan has since been dubbed as a closeted hardcore DGG member and lore master by the community. If you're
closeted Destiny sexual, huh?
You're wondering why Destiny and his community have recently been mentioning the instances under which Hasan talks about Destiny and knows detailed information about him, it's because of this. During the years after their separation, from 2019 up until 2023 with the Israel-Palestinian conflict, Hasan had banned mention of Destiny outright in his community, and his community members were discouraged from talking about Destiny. However, Hasan himself and various other leftist political commentators would repeatedly make reference to Destiny on social media or in brief clips, and their comments about him were almost always disparaging. Because of this, Destiny and his community gained a reputation that they felt was misleading and misrepresentative of what the community was like and who Destiny was as a political commentator. But because Destiny was banned off of Twitch for some of that time, and because he was a smaller content creator than Hasan for much of that time, the Destiny community felt as if they were unable to breach.
Well, just to be clear, I mean, Destiny and his community can be very toxic and immature. I mean, I don't think all of it is just a conspiracy from Hasan. Like it's easy to write it all off, but there's plenty of personal accountability going on.
That they felt were maliciously being spread about Destiny. But from 2023 to 2024, Destiny has exploded in popularity. And the community has taken this as a green light to use their coordination to expose what they view as manipulative behavior from Hasan and other political commentators, who they also feel attempted to ruin Destiny's political career. Throughout the years since their fallout, Hasan has created numerous nicknames that he used for Destiny. At first, he called Destiny a debate bro, making fun of Destiny's previous history as a known debater. Then he moved on to calling Destiny a debate pervert. This was
then the debate pedophile. That's the next one.
To insult the various debate tactics.
Dude, Destiny and Hasan did break up. I'm pretty sure they were dating and having sex, and that was Hasan's penis, just so you guys know.
That Destiny would use during his debate or any other rhetorical strategy. He would call these debate methods acts of debate pervertry. Then it graduated from debate pervert into debate PDF file. Now, obviously, the real word he used was not PDF file, but I'm sure you can figure out what he said there. And in the present day, Hasan has taken to his stream discussions channel in his Discord to refer to Destiny as Diddy G. These things
That's just kind of stupid and funny, honestly.
May or may not seem small in and of themselves. But over the course of multiple years of repetition, Destiny has found himself with a reputation that he feels is out of alignment with arguments that he's made in the past on Twitter. It's not uncommon to see Hasan.
Does he? I mean, like, you know, the whole insensitive comments about people getting shot at Trump rallies and shit don't exactly help him. I don't know what you're talking about.
Quote tweet clips of Destiny with claims that he called for right-wing militias to run over BLM protesters, victim blames sexual assault victims, urges toxic cyberstalking, is somehow related to Gamergate and its ideology, and with the recent attempts of the Democratic Party to engage with the online content creator class as a result of the 2024 election, the Destiny community has, at the end of 2024, begun to try and counter these claims directly on social media. Later in the year, Dan Saltman, also known as Dan Can't Stream, launched a campaign against Twitch over the anti-Semitism on the platform. This issue had been brewing since October 7th, 2023. Although Destiny wasn't directly involved in this event, Dan is a close community member with Destiny and a co-host of a shared podcast with him.
Yeah, the podcast he's pretty close with him. Isn't he like, they're like good friends in real life, no?
After a controversial TwitchCon panel, in which Ethan Klein was marked as a Sabra lover in red, and Arab streamers were marked in green.
Well, yeah, it was basically an Arab good to Jew bad. Yeah.
Dan, who was a CEO, commissioned some of his employees to begin building websites that would showcase the anti-Semitism on the Twitch platform. This includes one game that's called Twitch or Terrorist. The game features a quote, and the user has a set amount of time to decide if the quote is from a Twitch streamer or from a real-life terrorist. Once you click an option, the game will tell you which terrorist or which Twitch streamer said it. He also created a website.
Yeah, people wanted me to play that, but I was like, that seems a little silly.
Well, Dan Clancy
I don't really want to get into all that.
Dan Clancy being the CEO of Twitch, in which he showcases various instances of anti-Semitism and racism on Twitch, including the results from the adpocalypse that is allegedly happening and ongoing developments concerning the monetization of Twitch.
When you look at it, doesn't Hasan sometimes kind of just look like a Caleb Hammer, but a little worse, obviously, because Caleb Hammer's so sexy?
And how Twitch handles platform moderation. It was also at this time that a Twitch employee leaked code to Dan, showing that Twitch had silently banned Israeli users from creating accounts since October 7th. Dan then asked the DGG community for help in contacting their local representatives about the matter. Because the DGG community is centralized on the Destiny website, Dan was able to stream on Kick and have his stream embedded on Destiny's website for the chat to watch.
Sorry,
Remember
guys.
what
I'm having a bad time.
I said about Destiny being able to switch platforms and have the chatting experience for the chat remain the same? That's because Destiny's website allows users to paste a link to any YouTube, Kick, Rumble, or Twitch stream, and when a user clicks on that link, The stream will be embedded in their window browser, with the Destiny.gg chat to the right. Dan utilized this to stream to the Destiny audience after Destiny went offline. Many members of the Destiny community contacted their local representatives about the Israeli ban on Twitch. This culminated in Twitch acknowledging the ban on Israeli users and reversing it, as well as banning a few leftist commentators briefly, including Frogan and Mike from PA. It also
Jesus Christ.
resulted
This is just such new fucking stuff we've already seen, so.
in multiple advertisers allegedly dropping their advertisements on Twitch until Twitch put in additional protections surrounding political content. Numerous streamers who were unrelated to the political space began to report losses in ad revenue at this time. Although Destiny was not directly involved in the adpocalypse drama, he ended up benefiting from it in proximity because non-political streamers began to turn their frustrations against the political spaces on Twitch for being the cause of their loss of income.
Well, yeah, that's what it was. No, I mean, that's exactly what, I mean, it's not really their fault as much as it is, you know, Twitch's fault for not monitoring them in the first place, allowing them to get away with all this like obnoxious behavior.
Since Destiny had been banned for Twitch for 2 years, he did not suffer
Cyber wins again, hell yeah.
any blowback or income loss from the adpocalypse on Twitch, and the Destiny community began to see regular viewers.
Well, how wouldn't, does Hasan not see any ad loss, or what do you think happened? Does he, wait, does Hasan actually make ad money, or does he get a guaranteed amount of money anyway? Does it even matter to him?
And normie streamers become increasingly frustrated with the political state of Twitch's politics. And because Hasan is the face of Twitch politics, Hasan himself, by extension. Dan continues to fight against Twitch and intends to do so until the CEO steps down. Hasan has also reacted to some of Dan's anti-Twitch clips, which put him in the line sight of Dan himself. Although Dan has expressed that Hasan is not the target of his crusade, Dan maintains—
I almost wish there was like some music here. That sounds like fucking, now that I'm like I'm paying attention to it, it sounds so like droll. I wish there was like a little music, you know?
that it is shocking that Hasan has not been banned yet at the same time as
he would run ads every hour, and after he didn't get any ads at all. Interesting.
Frogan and Mike. Their last interaction was of Hasan reacting to a clip of Dan.
Oh, so he was demonetized. I figured that he did. So he must have, or unless he had, yeah, like, okay.
Threatening Hasan and telling him to stay out of it.
You should not say Voldemort's name because he will fucking come after you. You should just sit there.
Oh, ew, Voldemort.
And be happy that I'm focused on Dan Clancy and just let me use you as the tool that you are to get to Dan Clancy. I don't give a shit about you. Just sit there and shut the fuck up. Do your fucking terrorist propaganda. Let me get my regime change underway. And if you're lucky, you'll come out of this thing without any fucking issues. Okay? That's what's going to happen.
That does sound kind of gay and cringe the way he said it. But
you're lucky. You keep fucking with me and I'll show you what I'm about. Okay? And what I'm about is effective action.
Sounds so gay. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm sorry.
In policy and outreach and activism. Okay? Did I say activism twice? I think so.
Is he really trying to do that, or is he just trying to like take a shot at Twitch? Which, by the way, I'm all for. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just like run down from the internet. Sometimes it feels like people are so morally loaded, but they don't really fucking care, you know?
You can,
or at least they're not honest about what they care about.
Do a lot with a single fucking email. Okay? You can do a lot by being genuine and talking to someone on the phone.
True.
These are things that your fans are too afraid to do because they have PTSD.
I'd rather text.
The idea of talking to another person, and they have to have like a therapy session about it. I don't. I will call into fucking the brave Mujahideen soldiers, Dan Crenshaw's fucking line. I'll break bread with Dan Crenshaw. I will talk about his lost eye, and I will talk about the man who made fun of it.
Around the same time.
What the fuck was that?
Donald Trump was elected as president of the United States. This caused many liberal Democrats to reconsider their approach to alternative media and begin to look for ways to interface with the online content creation class. Figures like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez posted questions on social media platforms trying to understand where online engaged voter bases got their information from.
Wait, AOC posted this?
Destiny was mentioned as being a key source of information for liberal voters by some respondents.
That's kind of true, though. I get a lot of my information from him, too, and Jon Stewart.
And it was posted on her public Instagram page. With the year rounding off, Destiny has made claims that he will
Damn, I didn't know that he made it to AOC's stream. But you know, that might have been a little shot at Hasan, because I'm pretty sure Hasan said something disparaging about AOC at one point, even though they played Among Us together.
To start a media company and work with the Democratic Party directly, believing that his approach to political advocacy is beginning to pay off, whereas figures like Hasan and Vaj have boxed themselves in due to audience capture. Both Hasan Piker and Destiny have continued to talk about one another, but not to one another.
I forgot about Vaj. What's that horse goblin doing, man? What the hell's going on with him?
On their respective streams.
Let's see.
But it seems like in the near future, the two will be forced to...
Oh, he's live right now. I mean, he's doing very good view-wise, or like live stream view-wise and stuff. I guess maybe his community is just very insulated. Is that what it is?
Speak to one another as both of their popularity continues to grow.
I guess he's kind of pushing on the down low for right now, which makes a little bit of sense considering the controversy he was in at the beginning of the year. So he's just like taking it chill.
And as the Democratic Party looks towards content creators for the 2028 election.
Hey, we got some music. This feels like an outro, but there's still like 3 minutes left.
Thanks for watching this documentary, guys. This is my first time making anything like this. Let me know of any constructive criticism you had down in the comments. I like sharing tips with other people, so if you're wondering how I made this video, I use the note-taking app Obsidian to write out the script for this video and compile all of the clips.
Why the hell are you telling us that?
Necessary to make it. I then use OBS.
All right. I'm not super interested on that last part about how they made the video, but it was a very well made video. It was good stuff.